Hello, wonderful audience. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. Hello and a warm welcome to our channel. Today, we're delving into Sans Frontiers. Sans Frontiers foaled 6 April 2006 is an Irish-bred, British-trained thoroughbred racehorse and sire. In his first 2 seasons he showed promise but was restricted to only 3 races in total owing to injuries. As a 4-year-old in 2010 he emerged as a top-class performer over middle and long distances, winning the Princess of Wales's Stakes and Geoffrey Stakes in England and then recording his biggest victory in his final race when he took the Irish Street Leger at the Curragh. Leg injuries kept him off the course for the next 2 years before he was retired to become a breeding stallion. Brace yourselves for the next chapter, where we'll be dissecting background. Sans Frontiers is a chestnut horse with a white blaze and for white socks bred in Ireland by the Lavington stud. As a yearling he was offered for sale at Tattersalls in October 2007 and was bought for 450,000 guineas by the broodstock agent John Warren. He entered the ownership of Sir Robert Ogden, best known as an owner of national hunt horses including Seymour Business, Boypore Ustides and Exotic Dancer. The colt was sent into training with Jeremy Nosder at Newmarket. He was sired by Galileo, who won the Derby, Irish Derby and King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes in 2001 before becoming a very successful breeding stallion. Galileo's other progeny include Cape Blanco, Frankel, Nathaniel, New Approach, Rip Van Winkle, Found, Minding and Ruler of the World. Sans Frontiers Damlier, who won 1 minor race and finished 3rd in the Pretty Polly Stakes, and produced other winners including Haunts Holbein Chester Vase and Kootenay Princess Elizabeth Stakes. Lear was a distant female line descendant of the Broodmar Clarence foaled 1934, and was therefore related to many leading winners including Sun Chariot and Santa Claus. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of 2008 2-year-old season as we examine its impact and relevance. Sans Frontiers began his racing career in a maiden race over 7 furlongs at Lingfield Park on 1 September in which he started the favourite against 9 opponents. Ridden by Shane Kelly, he took the lead inside the final furlong and won from Rathfarn, Admiral Duke and beat up in a blanket finish which saw the first 4 finishing within half a length of each other. Get ready for an enlightening exploration as we dig into 2009 3-year-old season and understand its role in the broader context. On his 3-year-old debut Sans Frontiers was ridden by Johnny Murtig in the Craven Stakes, a trial race for the 2,000 guineas over 1 mile at Newmarket Racecourse on 16 April in which he at odds of and finished 2nd of the 7 runners behind the odds-on favourite Delegator. On 14 May at York Racecourse the colt was stepped up in distance for the Dante Stakes, a major trial for the Derby in which he was partnered by Mick Kinnan. After racing towards the rear of the field he stayed on strongly in the straight to take 3rd place, beat 3/4 of a length and ahead by the Aidan O'Brien trained colts Black Bear Island and Fremantle. Sans Frontiers had training problem after his run in the Dante and missed the rest of the season. Now it's time to shift gears and explore 2010 4-year-old season. After a break of 11 months, Sans Frontiers returned in the Group 3 Earl of Sefton Stakes over 9 furlongs at Newmarket in April in which he was partnered by Frankie Detry and finished 6th of the 8 runner behind Sripatra. In the Huxley Stakes at Chester Racecourse in May he again failed to make much impact and finished 6th behind Debussy. At Royal Ascot on 19 June the colt was ridden by Tom Queally when he was stepped up in distance and started outsider for the Hardwicke Stakes over 1.5 miles. He never looked likely to win but kept on well in the closing stages to finish 4th behind Harbinger despite having some problems obtaining clear run in the straight. 19 days after his run at Ascot, Sans Frontiers, with Queally again in the saddle, started at odds of in an 8-runner field for the Princess of Wales's Stakes on good to firm ground at Newmarket. Spanish Moon started favourite while the other runners included Crowded House, Holweg winner of the Queen's Vase, Tazees Earl of Sefton Stakes and Man of Iron. After being restrained by Quealy in the early stages, he moved up to take the lead approaching the final furlong and stayed on well to win by 2.5 lengths from the Berry Hills trained Redwood, with another 2.5 lengths back to Tazy's in third place. After the race, Jeremy Nosder said, "I came here thinking he'd finish in the 3, but I didn't think he'd beat Spanish Moon. But if Spanish Moon didn't perform, he'd have as good a chance as anything. I didn't expect to win, so hadn't looked much beyond today, but hopefully there will be a better day ahead." In the Group 2 Geoffrey Freer Stakes on softer ground at Newbury, Rassika's Sons Frontiers was ridden by Murtig and started the second choice in the betting behind the Godolphin representative Kitewood, the winner of the race in 2009. The other 6 runners included Locked Fred Archer Stakes and Golden Sword Chester Vase. After tracking the leaders, Sans Frontiers went to the front approaching the final furlong and drew away to win by 2.25 lengths from Lock despite hanging to the right. Nosder commented, "To be honest, I was very worried about the ground, but I chatted to Sir Robert Ogden and we decided to go for it. I was fairly worried he wouldn't go on it, but we had to find out today because we'd had the Irish Street Ledger on our minds and there's a good chance it will be soft there. So it will be the Irish Street Ledger next, and hopefully after that, we can have a tilt at the Melbourne Cup." As predicted, Sans Frontiers was next sent to Ireland and was moved up in class and distance for the Group 1 Irish Street Ledger over 1.75 miles at the Curragh on 11 September. Ridden by Olivier Peslier, he was made the favourite against 7 runners headed by the 6-year-old mare Profound Beauty, whose wins included the Curragh Cup and 2 editions of the Ballyroan Stakes. Kitewood was again in opposition, as well as Tactic Curragh Cup and the Japanese challenger Pop Rock. The outsider Lady Lupus set the pace and saw off a short-lived challenge from Tactic to lead the field into the straight. Peslier, meanwhile, had settled his mount in 7th place before moving up on the outside entering the straight. Profound Beauty went to the front a furlong and a half out, but was soon joined by Sans Frontiers, who gained the advantage before drawing ahead to win comfortably by 3/4 of a length. Robert Ogden's racing manager Barry Simpson said he didn't like the ground at all, but he did his best bit of work ever last week, and I know Jeremy would have thought him a certainty on good ground, but all the rain dampened our enthusiasm, before going on to echo Nosder's statement that the Melbourne Cup was a likely target. After some deliberation, the horse went into quarantine in preparation for a trip to Australia. The plans were abandoned, however, after he developed a muscular problem azootria following a training gallop on 5 October. In this part of the video, we'll be diving deep into retirement and unraveling its profound impact. Sans Frontiers sustained a tendon injury in 2011 which kept him off the track for the whole of the year. Nosder persevered with the horse, but when the injury recurred in 2012, Sans Frontiers was retired from racing. The trainer commented he was due to run at Newbury later this month and had been working very well, showing his customary dash. So it is a great shame that he has had a recurrence of a tendon injury. Sans Frontiers was a very talented horse who, without question, would have won more groups with a little more luck. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore stud career through a fresh lens, unlocking new perspectives. Sans Frontiers began his stud career at the Cornwall Organisation's Beaches Stud in County Waterford, where he is marketed as a national hunt stallion. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.